How y'all doing? Another segment, Facts from the Ghost. And before I jump into this one, it's rather intriguing for me because a lot of people in today's sports are, constantly complaining and ranting or venting about how these athletes, today's athletes, is just playing or they're lacking, certain intangibles that, I actually grew up watching and, playing, not professional or anything like that. But, I played, a year of organized ball once in my lifetime for this church I was going to in high school. I was 17 and I played a year for them. But that's as far as I ever took basketball. That's the highest level I ever been at. So, but I still would like to think I have enough knowledge, I have enough experience to give my opinion on how today's athletes approach the game versus how it was approached in the 80s, in which that's the era I grew up in, and of course the 90s. So I'm looking at those eras, and for me, those eras told it all about how to play sports. And for me, it dictated a vision of how a man is supposed to perform on any level or any sport, whether it be baseball, tennis, golf, football, basketball, and so forth. So when I watch today's athlete, I just see a lot of those same intangibles that I saw growing up, and basically observing and then eventually absorbing this information that was presented for me as far as how a man is supposed to approach life, period, in general. So, in my opinion, today's athletes, and I don't want to say all of them are like that because I would be completely ignorant coming off like that. But if, for example, my team is the Cleveland Browns, my team is the Cavaliers, and for years I watched the Browns and the Cavs play, of course, over the years, in the 80s and the 90s and so forth. But in the 80s and the 90s, I noticed that those players that played for the Cavs and the Browns, they always play with a sense of urgency. They always play with a sense of a certain type of strength, a certain type of motivation, and a certain type of IQ, and a certain type of heart. They never lacked any of that. You always knew watching them that this is what you're going to get from them, no matter what. No matter what. You could, after you watched them play, after the game was over, you can, literally say that they left it on the field or they left it all on the court. So, during my time, I watched guys like Frank Benefield, Hanford Dixon, Felix Wright, Brian Brennan, Kevin Mack, and Brian Brennan, Ozzie Newsome, and I can't think of that running back's name. What is his name? Ernest Biner. There we go. Yeah, my brain was Swiss cheese for a second. My fault. Ernest Biner. So, and then of course Bernie Kosar, and then of course the late great Marty Schottenheimer. So, yeah, watching these guys play, it just gave me a sense of how to just, be a man. basically. It gave me a sense on how to think, how to rationalize in situations where there was a crisis, if that makes sense. But again, and then I'm sorry, there's no but. And then also saw it in players like Mark Price, Brad Doherty, Larry Nance, John Hotwire Williams, God rest his soul, Craig Elo, and then of course the coach, Lenny Wilkins, and then Ron Harper. So as I'm watching them play, they also display that type of mentality. So again, I feel because of these experiences and actually playing basketball, not like I said, not on a professional level, but just, playing it for the most part on the playgrounds, in school, gym time, whatever. And then as I, as I graduated from school, played, here and there on the basketball courts. Now you can even say I traveled a little bit playing basketball and so forth. But basically, for me, I feel like I have enough of that type of experience and knowledge to where I can, critique certain players and how they approach the game. And when I look at the Browns, I just look at the Browns, and I'm not talking about on the offensive side of the ball. I'm talking about on the defensive side of the ball. And I'm gonna go ahead and get into this segment, but yeah, it's a Monday morning, November 14th, 2022, and I'm gonna go ahead and play this small little interlude, and then I'm gonna jump into it. So, what I'm about to say, I hope it resonates with people. With my listeners and my people who support my podcast and what I'm trying to accomplish going forward. When I watch the Browns, and I'm not talking about on the offensive side of the ball, I want to make that clear. For me, the offense has overachieved, and I agree with most of these analysts, these Browns analysts who said that they have overachieved. Yes, they have. The offense has overachieved, and for me, if the defense would have played like at least average, I think the Browns' record, if you wanted to flip it and say they would have been 6-3 at this time, or we'll go with 5-4, but no worse than what the record is now, because the offense has put the Browns has put that team in positions to win games. Let's just say it like that. They have put them in positions to win games. But of course, the defense has been so atrocious, and the defense has been such an embarrassment, and such I mean, whatever adjectives you can come up with to describe how a disgrace or just how awful the Browns defense has been this year. For me, it comes down to an individual's heart and motivation, and a skill set. You have to have a certain amount of skills to play at a professional level. I will agree with that 100% all day, every day. But just because you have that skill set to play up on a professional level does not mean your career is going to be long. It's going to you're going to have a long career, or you're not going to have longevity. You're not going to have that, because you have to have that certain amount of IQ. You have to have that heart. You have to have the determination, the motivation. You got to have that fight in you. You got to have that dog in you to want to win. It's got to be either it's in you or it's not. Either you're born with it or you're not. It's that simple. And when I watch the Browns on defense, that's exactly what I see. I see a lack of all those valuable intangibles. That's exactly what I don't see in the Browns. So, for people who to keep ranting and complaining about why the Browns are doing this, why the Browns are doing that, I did a rough draft audio on this last night, but okay, I keep hearing the same rants and complaints about this and that about the Browns defense, when why don't y'all just say the reason why the Browns defense is so, it's so bad on so many levels, that why don't y'all just come to one conclusion, and it's that these dudes, either they can't, or you come to two conclusions in this matter. Either they can't play like we thought they could, or they don't have those very valuable and talented intangibles. They just don't have them. And because of that reason, no, the season, like I said a while ago, it was done for me the second game of the season. I knew once they did what they did against the Jets, the defense, as I'm speaking, I knew once they did that the season was lost. I knew it was lost, because it didn't make no sense for them to do what they did against the Jets. But all that told me was they mailed it in a long time ago. They mailed it in that day when they played the Jets. That's when the defense mailed it in. And for whatever reason why they did it, the only reason I can come up with, like I said, the two conclusions I can come up with is either they're not as good as we thought they were, they can't play at this level, or they like those very valuable intangibles. So for me, that's exactly what I think is going on with the Browns defense. I just think that they mailed it in the second game of the season, and they just what's that word? This going with the flow of the season. And I'm pretty sure once the season is actually over, because what are they, 3-6 now? They're going to lose against Buffalo. My mouth would drop to the ground if they beat Buffalo. To be honest, if they're giving up 100 and some yards to a guy named Jeff, I want to say his last name is Wilson. If they're giving up 100 and some yards to a guy like that, and I'm pretty sure this guy has not had a day like that this year until he played against the Browns. And if they have also given up 100 and some yards, 200 and some yards to other running backs that are not notorious for running the ball like that, if that makes sense, or teams in that matter are not notoriously known for running the ball like that. So again, I'll be shocked to beat Buffalo. But I'm not picking them to beat Buffalo anyway, so I'm not even going to probably watch the game. I might watch a little bit of it because I do like Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen has proven he's an elite quarterback now. He's a beast. Josh Allen can do so many things on the football field to, contribute to his team win. If not, he'd be the relevant piece to a team winning enough games to win the ultimate goal, which is the Super Bowl. So, Josh Allen, I'm a fan of Josh Allen. So, if I'm going to watch the game, I'll probably watch it to see what he's going to do. But other than that, I'm not going to expect the Browns to win. I'm not looking for them to do anything that they haven't already done all season long, which is go in there. They're going to, maybe they'll play in the first quarter or something like that. And then once the game, proceeds, then the Browns will start playing like they've notoriously been playing all season long. And then the game will get out of control as usual. And then, the Bills might, put up about 40 points on them or something, beat them, 40-7 or 40-14 or something like that. So, whatever. It is what it is. So, I'm not expecting the Browns, nor am I, anticipating them to win this game whatsoever. So, again, I think that's what's wrong with the Browns on the defensive side of the ball. I think most of them players on that defensive side of the ball they either can't play or they just melded in, or I don't know, maybe they don't want to play for the Browns organization. Maybe it's something about the organization they don't like, and they have already decided that, you know what, I don't want to play here no more. I'm going to do everything I can to get up out of here. But if you ask me, that's kind of stupid, because why would you put tape out for the other teams to see that you are garbage? So I would like to think that's not the strategy why they're playing the way they're playing. I'm just throwing it out there. But again, at the end of the day, I think that's the problem with the Browns on the defensive side of the ball. No, again, I'm going to keep reiterating this. Kevin Stefanski, I don't think he's getting fired. So, and I'm going to go on record and say he's not going to get fired. He's not going to be fired because, yeah, he's played with a backup quarterback this year. And again, has Jacoby Brissett overachieved this year? Yeah, he has. Yeah, he has. But it is what it is. Jacoby Brissett is a backup. He's not Deshaun Watson. So I would like to think he's going to get a pass just because of that. So I like to think next year that's where he's going to get graded on, when he has Deshaun Watson for a full season. So I'm not even worried about Stefanski getting fired. Now, if on the decent side of the ball, yeah, Joe Wood should be gone, and that other guy on special teams, Mike Pilfer, he needs to be gone. Get him out. Get them dudes out of there. Fire them. Get them out. If it was me, I would fire him today. I wouldn't even want to look at these dudes because you're pathetic. These guys are pathetic, period. They're pathetic on all levels. So why I want to keep watching the same thing over and over again? That's the definition of insanity. Keep doing the same thing, expecting a different result. Come on. No, I ain't on no trash like that. So if it was up to me, yeah, Joe Woods and Mike Pilfer would be gone now. Now, what are you going to do with the players? Well, Myles Garrett ain't going nowhere, so I would keep Garrett. What's that dude? J.K. I can't think of his last name. J.K. I haven't really seen him play this year, but I've been hearing some good things about the guy, so I guess you can keep him. I've been hearing they even want to keep Grant Delpit. Okay, fine. If you want to keep Grant Delpit, fine. For me, I haven't seen anything Grant Delpit did this year, but okay. It's not like I've literally zeroed in on the guy and see what he has done, which some people say he's done some things on the football field. So okay, fine. Keep him. Denzel Ward, keep him too. He ain't going nowhere. Even though he has a history of injuries. Okay, he's not going nowhere. That guy Jared Wills, yeah, maybe you could let him go, whatever. No, I wouldn't sign him to another contract though. He wouldn't get no big time contract, so I wouldn't sign him. John Johnson III, get him out. God, what's that? Greedy Williams, I guess you can keep him. And then I think there's some other guys on that offensive line that hasn't played up to their potential. So you can go ahead and let them guys go too. So for me, yeah, you're gonna have to revamp not the whole entire defense, but you're gonna have to revamp most of that defense. And yeah, I agree with most of these analysts too. The Browns analysts, they're saying that they should go get an experienced defensive head coach. And I agree with that. Yeah, maybe they need to go find some guy who's proven, like a Sean Payton. Maybe they should try to, call him in for an interview sometime next year after the season's over, and see if they can work out some type of deal with this guy. Let him come in and coach the defense. Now, me personally, I don't know if Sean Payton would go for that because he was a head coach. So I don't know if he would want to, go for being a head coach or a defensive coach. So I don't know if he would be on board with that. But I still would try to get someone like him, if that makes sense. He's a veteran. He's proven. He's won a Super Bowl. So, yeah, I would try to get someone like him. But another thing I would like to touch on is the good old catchphrase in today's society, analytics. And I'm going to keep saying it. Analytics for me, no, it's okay. It's relevant, but for me, at the end of the day, we as people make decisions. There's a part in our, I'm sorry, well, I'm going to say not part, but I'm going to say there's an area in our brain, and it's the prefrontal. It's called prefrontal. And that gives us the ability, that is where that's where our most thinking is located. That's where it comes from. And that gives us the ability to, be self-confident, enthusiasm, and be an illusionist. And that gives us the ability to find solutions to solve our problems. So, okay, again, analytics, yeah, it's relevant in a sense of if you want to figure out like numbers or figure out how to generate more money for your business or how to figure out, equations or figure out like how to combine numbers or combine chemistry chemistry solutions and stuff like that. Yeah. If you want to use analytics, and this is just a few. Like I said, I'm not that gifted in analytics, and I'm also not that experienced in analytics. I'm gifted with the eye test. That's how I solve most of my problems. I use the eye test, and also I use the ability to be aware of what's going on around me. That's how I solve most of my problems. And I also put it in God and Jesus' hands first and foremost. And I put it in their hands. And if it's their will, then it's their will. That is my mindset. That is how I solve all my problems. So, for me, analytics is relevant, but at the end of the day, we as people, we make decisions. We are the ones that go out here on a daily basis and go to work or play sports and get paid, make a living off playing sports, or we just work for a living and we're raising families and so forth. We as people are the ones that make these final decisions. Why would you look to analytics to make any type of decisions for you, especially in sports? Just because analytics is going to tell you that this team that you about to play is one of the worst teams in the NFL, well, I can tell that they're one of the worst teams in the NFL just by watching them play on the field. Why do I need analytical numbers to tell me that? That's just one area I don't think analytics is important. I could come up with some other reasons why I feel analytics is not relevant in some areas, but it is in some. But that's for another segment. But at the end of the day, I just basically think that's what's going on with the Browns. I really think that these players on the defensive side of the ball was just not that good as we thought they were. And I just believe that it could be the other reason, which is they just like those intangibles, those very relevant intangibles that, in my opinion, now, I guess in today's society it's been lost, but I mean, and then I guess you could look at it and say that today's society is promoting immaturity and weakness in men, and that could be another contributing factor as to why the Browns defense is so awful. That could be one of the reasons. But then again, I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, for me, I've always been groomed not to be a weak man. I've always been groomed to be mature. Don't act immature. I've always been groomed like that by people that care about me, that love to care about me. I've had so many people growing up, and I was blessed to have these people in my life in my ear constantly telling me, you can't be immature and weak. You have to show that you're mature, and you have to show that you're a strong, confident man. And because of that, today, that's exactly what I am. I've always been this type of person ever since I graduated from high school. Of course, you're going to make your mistakes in high school. That's what high school is about. High school is about growth, learning, grooming you to be a responsible, functional adult in society. That's what high school does for you. Now, if you want to further your education after you graduate from high school, yeah, then you do that. You go to college in order to obtain certain degrees so you can have a good paying job going forward. So, but some people use college as an educational tool too. So I was blessed to go to college. Did I get a degree? No, I didn't. But I still was blessed to go to college and acquire knowledge to also, you know, help with my progression as being a confident, strong, mature man. So I don't know what's going on in today's society. I don't know why men act like this. I don't know why today's women, I'm not saying all women, I'm going to say some women. I don't know why this is acceptable to some women, because for me, I was always taught that women look down on men that don't have confidence and that are weak and they're immature. I always was told this, and I was told this by teachers, professors, people that I hung out with back then that was in my inner circle, and then it was also, you know, family members that was older than me that was teaching me this, and then they were showing with their actions that, yeah, this is true. So for me, I can't speak on why, you know, today's society is promoting immaturity and weakness in men. I don't know why they're promoting that, and I don't know why some women are like accepting it or glorifying it, saying it's okay to be in your feelings. I want a man that you know, that cries and he's in his feelings. I love a man like that who gets in his feelings and, you know, tells, you know, or complains or cries about what's bothering him. For me, no. For me, I wish I would have ever thought to do something like that, because I'm going to tell you, if I would have ever thought to do anything like that, I know good and damn well I wouldn't even be in a relationship I'm in today. I'm not going to put her business out there, but I'm just going to say I'm in a relationship with a beautiful woman right now. And I would like to think if I was immature, didn't have confidence, and I was a weak man, I would like to think I wouldn't be in a relationship with her. But again, that's a different topic. So I'm going to conclude by just saying that for me, I think those are the reasons why the Browns on the defensive side of the ball are playing at the level that they're playing right now, which is so embarrassing, which is so horrific to watch, which is like laughable. It's almost like a joke now watching them play on defense, for me at least. So those are the reasons I come up with. I'm not saying I'm right or wrong about this. I mean, I'll say this. I could be wrong what I'm saying. I could be wrong what I said about the Browns today. I could be wrong about that. But I like to think everything else I said was, you know, accurate. And for the most part, I'm just not going to, I can't do it. I would never, and I'm so glad I'm not an emotionally, I'm glad I'm not all of my emotions like that. I'm glad I'm not a weak man. I'm glad I got the confidence to know who I am as a man, know my worth. And I'm glad I love myself. I am so happy that I love myself to the point where I won't settle for less. I know my worth. So I'm going to conclude by saying Y'all stay safe out there. Stay blessed. You and your families. One love to all. Facts from the Ghost, DJ Lottie Dottie. Later.